Jackie's Warrior quickly in front here by 2 lengths. Here comes Jackie's Warrior up the inside to take over the lead from Life is Good. And Jackie's Warrior remains undefeated here at Saratoga, and he wins an unprecedented Grade 1 stakes at the Spa for the 3rd straight season.
Hello everybody, Mike Welsch coming to you from the paddock here at a now seemingly clear and a little bit still chilly Del Mar racetrack, where, believe me, the weather this morning was not anything you want to see pre-Breeders' Cup. The worst 3-letter word for clockers is fog, and we were socked in with fog this morning. But we are here with the Daily Racing Form Breeders' Cup Clocker Report, brought to you by Spendthrift Farm, the home of 5-time reigning champion general Sire Into Mischief, whose Breeders' Cup horses include Newgate and Pyrenees, a pair of contenders in this year's Classic. Well, like I said, it was impossible to see almost anything this morning right from the start at 5:30. Finally cleared out here about 9:15, about 15 minutes before the track closed for business. We did have 2 workers today, as expected, and as noted yesterday, Senior Buscador and also Kale's Angel worked today. He's in the juvenile turf sprint, but it was Senior Buscador for the Classic that everybody was waiting to see. Didn't get to see much, but with the help of Dave Grenning, my colleague today, was able to time the work. He went on the backside, positioned himself at the 5/8 pole, gave me a heads up when the horse broke at the 5/8 pole. I was able to clock him. Took him to the 8th pole in 46-3 to the wire, 58-4, and was able to see the gallop out into the turn, just barely 6 furlongs in 1:12-1. I've seen the Senior Buscador train several times before, most notably before the Pegasus last year. And he is a very good workhorse. And he did look good this morning. You have to respect the time. Did seem to get a little bit tired maybe at the end. The jock was asking him, or the rider was asking him to finish a little bit and to go out into the turn. But generally, it's a Senior Buscador work, and he looks fine coming into the Classic. Kale's Angel, I was not able to see most of his work. He broke off at the 5/8 pole in the fog, like I said. Did break off, from what I understand, 3 lengths behind his workmate, and was edging clear at the wire, was well off the rail, finishing. The clockers gave him an official clocking 5/8 in a minute flat. I cannot confirm that, but that was Kale's Angel's work this morning for the juvenile turf sprint. Now, we did get to see some of a lot of Breeders' Cup contenders out here early this morning, most notably Arthur's Ride, the first appearance for Arthur's Ride and all the Bilmont horses today. Did not get to see them all. Arthur's Ride, just a leisurely gallop through the stretch, stretching his legs a little bit. I'm sure he'll do more the next couple of days, and it will be scheduled for one final work here later this weekend. Dermot Sadagaki and Ushba Tesoro, 2 of the 3 Japanese contenders in the Classic, they came out early this morning. The other one, the 3rd member of that group, Forever Young, came out after the break. He has a little bit funky action. I didn't quite remember that as much as seeing him before the Kentucky Derby. Not the smoothest goer, but he did seem to be moving well through the stretches. That's about all I could see of him today. Other notables I saw today, also the Steve Asmussen horses, all 4 of those that he has Breeders' Cup contenders were out today. The early ones, Skelly, who was the morning line favorite for the sprint, Society, Gun Pilot, and Zeitlos, they were all out this morning. Did nothing more but jog the wrong way alongside the pony to get themselves used to Del Mar. And again, we'll see them pick up the pace over the weekend. I don't think any of them are going to do too much. They had their final major works back at Churchill Downs. We'll see those 5-day out before the race, probably easy 3/8 or half miles that Steve Asmussen is famous for here, I would guess, probably on Monday. Other notables that I saw, Mixto for the Classic, again out there today, the Pacific Classic winner. He looked fine. He was one of several Doug O'Neill trained horses that were out after the break. Raging Torrent was another. Raging Torrent looked good. I like the way he looked coming through the stretch today. First look today at Snow White for Danny Gargan. She's in town for the juvenile fillies. She arrived, I think, on the same plane with the Bill Mott horses. I believe she's scheduled to work here tomorrow. Howard Wallowitz, we've seen Howard Wallowitz and his stablemate Bentonato out here for several days now. They're scheduled to work tomorrow. Howard Wallowitz, watching him gallop today, he's got good energy. all week that I've seen him, he's had good energy. He's definitely a very turfy mover. You can see why he's going to he runs on the grass, and he will be in the juvenile turf. Now, outside of here, the big news today, obviously, on the Breeders' Cup was the scratch of Idiomatic. That came off the racetrack today. She is out of the distaff. But there was also big news out of town as well on the racetrack, as Fierceness got in his final work today for the Classic at Saratoga. And thanks to my colleague David Norton, I was able to get a tape of the work. I was able to time the work and watch the work. Went in company with Illuminaire. I had him a half mile in 48 and 4. Galloped out 5/8 in 102, 3/4 in 15 and 2. Did it easily, nothing spectacular. Fierceness, we know, is a pretty good workhorse. It looks like he's been picking up the pace. His last works have been back to what we saw from him before the Kentucky Derby. Gallops out well. So good morning for Fierceness at Saratoga. Also at Saratoga for Saffie Joseph, Skippy Longstocking. He won a half mile in company with his stakes-winning 2-year-old filly mate, the Queen's MG. They won a half mile in 47 and 4. Again, did it easily, galloped out. I had him in 101 and 3. Pretty much a maintenance work for Skippy Longstocking. Dave Grenning just got off the phone with Saffie, who is actually here on the grounds at Del Mar right now. And he was happy with what he saw of the work, and he's still undecided with Skippy Longstocking between the Classic and the Dirt Mile. It seems at the moment he's leaning a little bit more towards the Dirt Mile. That decision could change tomorrow, though. National Treasure, who will be the favorite in the Dirt Mile, is scheduled to work tomorrow at Santa Anita, and I guess a decision will be made then on his status for the Breeders' Cup, as he has not worked since his last race, but he is scheduled to work tomorrow at Santa Anita. So that's a synopsis of what we've seen here, or what we sort of saw here today. We didn't really get to see much. Like I said, hopefully the fog will not be back tomorrow. We do have several works scheduled tomorrow, and I think Sunday will be our busiest day on the workout front. So keep it right here for the best coverage of the Breeders' Cup 2024, right here at DRF.com.